Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to yet another video here on the YouTube channel Spillfriending and Fellowship. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking and it's Friday. So we are bringing you today the matchups for the first round of the Battle Companies Season 3. Season 3 we're on now. And we are playing it a bit different this time round. So lots of the comments from the previous seasons was that you had to play one game every week against preferably a different opponent each time. Now there isn't, well, people are busy with school, people are busy with work, and some people find it hard to manage a game every week, even though it takes about an hour to play a Battle Companies game. But you have to travel, you have to schedule nights, something like that, so not everyone can make it, and that's perfectly understandable, and I have remedied that with a new solution. So what we do now is we pair up round 1 and 2 at the same time. So we have, for instance, one player will meet player 1 will player 2 in the first game, and then player 1 will meet player 3 in the second game. And you don't count experience or upgrades you have received because of that experience until you have the final tally for after the second round, to make it fair to everyone. And that also means you can play the games against your opponents at any time. So even if you're scheduled to meet, for instance, Stig playing Ulrich in the first round, and then Stig playing Andreas Jansson in the second round, actually Stig could play Jansson in the first round, because it doesn't matter with the actual upgrades. And that's cool, because it gives you more freedom to do it. You can have more time to paint your miniatures between the games. You can make it an evening if for instance 3 opponents or 4 opponents are all playing each other. You can basically make an evening out of it and play all the games in one fell swoop. And that's actually what we're doing later this evening. We are meeting up at Games Workshop Oslo at 4 o'clock Norwegian time. So if you're in the Greater Oslo area and have some time in your hands, and either watch our Age of Sigmar videos and are wondering about what Lord of the Rings actually is about, you can have a quick look at what we do. I'll of course be filming some battle reports during the evening, and yeah. So I'm very hopeful that this will be a cracking evening, and I also will be as long as time provides it, I will be filming battle reports, because I won't be, unless somebody needs a standing player, I won't be competing in this round. That's because we have an odd number of people, and although I could actually do it because we are playing several games, it's a bit hard with odd numbers. So yeah. But I have so much to paint, I have so much to do, so it's good to just be on the sidelines, not be biased in any way, and just keep the campaign rolling along. All right, so we have a few rules to go through before we go to the pairing. And this is important because we have some house rules in the Battle Companies rulebook, and one of those house rules is raw recruits. Now, raw recruits is basically a rule that makes it better for you to have painted miniatures, because you will receive a penalty if your miniature isn't painted in at least 3 colors and based in a manner consistent with the extra with the rest of the warband. So if you haven't finished your models, you can still play with them. That's perfectly legal and fine. but they will receive a -1 fight penalty and a -1 courage penalty, and that's a bit rough. So get that final coat of paint on your miniatures and join in. We also have the optional rule Sworn Protector. So this basically kicks in when and if a warrior does not get promoted to hero, or there are no free hero slots available to your company. So when a warrior gains 30 experience points and still hasn't become a hero, he gains the Sworn Protector rule. That warrior rule, Sworn Protector rule, is basically the bodyguard rule, and you add 1 point to its points value because of that. So that's the two optional rules we are playing with, and so yeah, we'll go for the first round. So I will of course post this in the groups. We have a secret group for the Battle Company, so that we can manage the campaign there, not spam every single other thread around, but I will post these videos up wherever I can, so that you can follow along. It's an exciting progress to see the matchups. So first up we have round 1, Stig versus Kenneth. So Stig will meet Kenneth in the first round. So that's Minas Morgul, heavy on the heavy armored terror coursing Morgul, well, people from Morgul, with a couple of orcs thrown in, versus Kenneth, who had Minas Tirith. I believe it was 7 Minas Tirith warriors, 3 of them heroes. So Stig will be outnumbered in this game, but he has a horse, and that could be a deciding factor. In the second round, Stig will meet Mikkel. So Mikkel is playing the Shire with Arnor. So if he can manage to take down the horse and also shoot away the 2 orcs with bows, he can basically outnumber his enemy with all his hobbits. I think he has 12 of them, so in this matchup Stig is outnumbered 1 to 2. And yeah, so that could be a very exciting match to follow along. Of course, Stig has the fight advantage versus the hobbits, but not against the rangers. So very, very exciting. So now we come to Kenneth matches, and that is of course Kenneth versus Stig. We already talked about that, but he will also play Mikkel. So Mikkel is, we have already spoken about him, and in this matchup I think there's quite a high defense. It's all strength 2 bows, so Mikkel will need 6s to wound on everything, and that can be hard to achieve. So could also be a close-up match, but then again we have the fire superiority of the hobbits, and that could also prove decisive. So in the next one we have Mikkel's matches, and we already talked about both of them. So this is a perfect scenario of where 3 people could meet up and they can play all 6 games. Well, not 6 games, but yeah, you know what I mean. Could play all the games against each other. Alright, so next up we come to the second bracket, and of course this is arranged with the rating in mind. So of course Stig, Kenneth and Mikkel had a high rating going in because of the heavy armor on the models and extra bits they get along, and we come to the lower bracket. There isn't many points difference, it's like 3 or 4 points between them, so so there won't be any don't think there will be any mercenaries hide for these games. So we have Andreas Jansson versus Ulrich. So Andreas Jansson is playing Dale. He has 7 Dale warriors, I believe, versus Ulrich, who has 4 Rivendell elves, Northern exiles. 1 of them is mounted, and all 3 heroes have heavy armor and shield. So if Andreas Jansson can take out the elf with a bow, because he had all just strength 3, defense 3, so he wins on fire with a 2 strength bow. So if he can manage that, I believe that he can then focus fire on the horse, or indeed just go for the horse first, and then it will outnumber the elves in combat by 2 to 1. So it will be a tough game for Ulrich going in with only 4 models, but then again, I have seen great feats of heroics from Ulrich before, so why not this time? And always a horse in there is a good shout. Okay, so next up we have Andreas Jansson versus Eirik. Now Eirik is also taking Shire, and will have a hobbit heavy force, a horse riding hobbit will be included. We also have a hobbit with a 2-handed weapon, and there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. So of course I think Andreas Jansson is outnumbered nearly 2 to 1 in this game, and if the hobbits use swarm tactics, only high rolls in fights will keep them alive for long. You will get trapped, you will get outnumbered quite quickly in that. So next matchup we have Ulrich, we have Torgeir versus Wild. So Torgeir, of course, playing his what's he playing again? Torgeir is of course playing the Last Alliance list with only Numenor. So he has 6 Numenor warriors against Wild's Harad list. So also 6 models on the Harad side, and 6 models on the side of the Numenor. So Harad has bow superiority with re-rolling to wound, and against some of the models in Wild's in Torgeir's warband, he will only need 5s to win re-rolling once. That's nearly half the chances to actually win there. Alright, and then we have Torgeir versus Eirik. So again we have Numenor with horses, well, 1 horse only this time, but lands and against hobbits could provide some decent stuff. You have the very high fight value, you have a bunch of stuff. So, but then again, if the hobbits can outshoot them, it does everything for that. So very crucial these first few games, how you play, how you do the tactics. So yeah. Next up we have Ulrich's matches. So Ulrich is playing Wild. So we have very few elves against. How many bows does Ulrich have? He only has bows on the 1 elf. Alright, so that means that Wild has 3 bows to 1, and that could take out the horse quite quickly, and also his firing potential, and then you suddenly outnumbered 2 to 1. So again, Ulrich has the disadvantage of being outnumbered in every single match he plays. And then we have Ulrich also against Andreas Jansson. We've already spoken about that matchup. So Eirik versus Torgeir is Eirik matchups now. We've already spoken about both of them. And then finally we have Wild against Torgeir and Wild against Ulrich, and we've already spoken about both of them. So yeah, there is many interesting matchups. I will be trying to film as many of them as possible, getting them out on the channel during the next couple of weeks. Probably will space them a bit to not spam the content every single day of the week. And yeah, so I will do maybe some player interviews after they roll their advances, see what they go for. I will try to make this as an interactive affair as possible, so you can get an inside view as to how fun and how amazing the Battle Company system is, to have some quick games and introduce new players. And that's the key factor here, to make new players understand the game of Lord of the Rings in a simple and easy manner, and then also to make your own heroes. We'll see if Stig's Marnu Falmar will again be the most feared hero in the campaign, or if Ulrich's hero, his lieutenant, will become feared elf. So yeah, there's plenty of exciting stuff to be had, and I'm happy you're on the journey with us here. So I will update you whenever I can about the campaign, and as always, to get the content, please subscribe, like and share our videos, and support your Hobbit hobby.